Okay, this is shirt looks weird all of a sudden. No. Anyways, this is Artie Asta from B Sharp and C, and I want to do another episode of B Sharp and C, like I just said, because I have nothing better to do, and I love making these videos, even though some get like thousands of views and then some get like eight. I don't understand um, that, but I just I want to play a song that it's close to me. It's a band that's actually close to my heart, and I'll tell you why. When I was living in Massachusetts, I was a window washer for a few years, and when Borders Bookstore actually existed, I would go in and listen to music because Borders had a section where you can buy CDs, and they had a headphone that you put on and you can test out some CDs. And I heard a song by Maná, this fabulous Mexican band. I believe they started in 1981 under a different name like Sombrero de Oro or something like that. I was reading it not too long ago. Oh, Sombrero Verde. And I think it was Oye Mi Amor. And I was listening to it and I was just so amazed. First of all, I I felt that I heard a little bit of the Police in their style and some reggae in their style, but pop rock. Everything was so tight, like you get with a band like the Police, or Sade. Like everything is just packaged perfectly. And I was going through their album like one song after the next, just thinking to myself, how do they how do they sound so good? And I got into Maná and I introduced Maná to a bunch of my friends and I remember hearing this song here, Labios Compartidos, which is like shared lips, right? I remember listening to Labios Compartidos when I forget where I was, but I remember like emotionally where I was. I had thought that I heard everything I needed to hear from Mana, and then when I heard this, I just got so happy that here's another good song because good music is out there, and this is old, but it's still such a good feeling when you discover new music. And hopefully, I could introduce someone who's listening to some new music. A lot of people know who Mana is, but a lot of people don't. This is just one song. I have not heard this live version of it yet. They are at the World Trade Center in Mexico City, right? So there's World Trade Center. There's a World Trade Center in Boston. It's not the famous one that everyone thinks of, but there's World Trade Centers in more than one city. And this is the song Labios Compartidos live. This was a few years ago. And they've been around since 81, so they're not young here. Let's give it a listen. Mm. This, by the way, the drummer is fantastic.
Amor mío, si estoy debajo del vaivén de tus piernas, si estoy hundido en un vaivén de caderas, esto es el cielo, es mi cielo.
Ooh, bass comes in.
Amor fugado, me tomas, me dejas, me exprimes y me tiras a un lado. Te vas a otros cielos y regresas como los colibríes. Me tienes como un perro a tus pies.
so I can't share your lips. You know, if you don't speak Spanish, and I'm conversational, I speak Portuguese fluently, so I think I speak Spanish, and that's like the worst. I'm like the worst Spanish speaker ever because I feel like I can get by, and I really, I really can't. Um, but I understand what they're saying. And it's interesting. If you like Google Translate or go somewhere and put the translation of these lyrics in, you'll find that they are just really good lyrics. This version is not that different from the studio version. That's how tight these guys are. It's just they're one of those bands that they put so much work into the studio version that by the time they're done putting out an album, they can go to your front lawn, spend 20 minutes setting up their instruments, play the song and sound like the studio version. Like they're that good and practiced and well-rounded. They're really, really good, and everything is just as I thought it would sound. The bass is perfect, drums perfect, everything. It's just this is like the studio version.
Y comparto mis días y el dolor. Yo no puedo compartir tus labios. Oh, amor, compartidos. Amor mutante. Amigos
Amor
con derecho y
mutante.
sin derecho de tenerte siempre. Y siempre tengo que esperar paciente
My God,
el
these sound great.
pedazo que me toca de ti.
And I can tell you, like, this is one of those bands, they're not using auto tune. And especially you hear this last syllable he's saying, he went way flat with that. And if there was auto tune, you would have heard it come up, you know?
El pedazo que me toca de ti.
And interestingly, sometimes, and I've had people comment this, oh, what if someone's using auto tune, or if they're not using auto tune? Okay, let me just form my thought. They can't be using auto tune because they sang out of tune. So they're not using auto tune. And I would say, yes, that's right. They're not using an auto tune configuration for the live track of the vocals. It doesn't mean someone didn't go in after and adjust some things manually and they left some things out of tune. You can be very selective with auto tune and stuff like that. But these guys are from an era of music. They're still young and healthy. And because I've seen some guys who from the 60s were just phenomenal. And then they did some songs now as they're like 81 years old. And there's a lot of auto tune being used because they just simply cannot physically sing like they used to. That's not these guys. These guys look like they're in great shape still. They sound really good. Um, no need for them to go in thinking they need any extra help. They're just going to go in. They're going to perform the song the way they've done thousands of times, and it's just going to come out and sound like this. And if they go flat and they sound bad, then whatever, because it's just one of those throw all caution to the wind types of rock songs.
Labios compartidos, labios divididos, mi amor. Yo no puedo compartir tus labios, que comparto el engaño y comparto mis días el dolor. Yo no puedo compartir tus labios, que me parta un rayo, que me entierre el olvido, mi amor, pero no puedo más.
love that drummer, man.
medida, te amo que estés compartida, tus labios tienen el control. Te amo con toda mi fe sin medida, te amo que estés compartida, tus labios tienen el control.
I mean, there you have it. You know, I just felt like I had to do it. I felt like I had to do a. The next song is a different band. Oh, maybe I'll check them out. I don't know, but anyways, this is what I do. A song got finished playing on YouTube, and then a new band came up, and it's a Spanish speaking artist, and I'm like, I've never heard of this guy, and maybe one day I'll do a B Sharp and C video about him. Who knows? And all of my 5 fans can celebrate the music with me. Anyways, what did you think of the song? Have you heard of Maná before? Do you want to recommend a Mexican band or any Latin band, Latin American or Latin European band that you think I would like? Put it in the comment section below. And that's about it. Thank you for watching. This is Artie Astor from B Sharp and C. Keep it groovy.